partner lied about addiction. My 29F partner, 31M, lied to me about his addiction, and I really don't know what to do. Posting from a throwaway account for obvious reasons. I, 29F, found out my partner, 31M, lied to me about picking up more coke, and I don't know what to do. Some history. My partner and I have been together for nearly 10 years and married for almost 4. We've always been honest with each other about practically everything, or so I thought. He has had issues with coke in the past, early days of our relationship, didn't know at the time. Not to the point of getting help, but he knew he needed to stay away from it. When we first met, I had never tried coke and had no interest in it. As I've gotten older and more curious, I eventually tried it and liked it, but for going out with friends and stuff. In the last year or so, we found out a friend of ours sells coke, so we started picking up from him. We were never really interested in it otherwise, because we always had a concern whatever we'd pick up locally could be laced. But because our friend sells it, we've trusted him. In the last year, I've done a lot of blow casually with my partner, whether it be to clean the house, to get some extra energy after a long day, or just hang out with my partner. From the moment we started picking up from our friend, I asked that we set some ground rules/boundaries. Tell me when you were picking up and how much you were getting, just so we are on the same page and mindful. We need to stop if we feel this getting out of hand. I asked for this transparency as we all know that's a slippery slope, and we needed to hold ourselves and each other accountable. I've told him, I don't want this to become a regular thing, because I do not want either of us to have a problem, and I sure as hell don't want a coke problem. A few months ago, I decided to check my partner's phone. I know, but I had to. I found that he picked up without telling me. I asked him, "Did you pick up from our friends?" And he initially lied to me and then came clean. Last night, the same thing happened, but much worse. Maybe a week and a half ago, our friends came over to hang out, and we also picked up. Both my partner and I told each other, that's it after this. No more. I had already expressed that I needed to stop using because my life was already chaotic enough. Numerous times. I was ready to get back on track and drop that shit. It's not for me. So we finished up what we had, and I thought that was it because we agreed. FCK, we pinky swore. Last night, I just had an off feeling in my gut. This led me to checking my partner's phone again. I found out he picked up again without telling me. I wanted to smash his phone when I read these messages. When I read this, he was in bed and I was in the living room. Thinking this would be a morning conversation, I decided to go to bed. And as I was getting under the covers, he asked me if everything was okay. I asked if he picked up again. He said no. He denied so much. He asked me if there was something I needed to get off my chest. In fact, he gaslit me into almost thinking what I saw wasn't real. I almost believed I didn't read what I f***ing read. He left the room, and I sat there questioning what was real. He came back within 3 minutes, kissed me, and asked if he could confess. He tells me he lied. He picked up from our friend and was so ashamed, and had never been in this mental space before, of feeling the need to get more. He told me he knew he didn't want more, but just felt the need to get more. He almost lied to me about how much he got, but told the truth. What I don't understand is the quantity he got was a lot. Way too much for someone to hide well. He told me he did a lot of it because he just wanted it gone. He was ashamed. He felt awful, and I could see that. He apologized profusely, and I know he feels bad. He said, "See, I can't even lie to you." But he did. And had I not found those messages, he would have continued to lie. This morning we continued to talk about it, and cry, and hug. And he said he'd do whatever it would take, understanding it would take a while. But I feel frozen in distrust, sick to my stomach, and just can't see him the same way. I know I tend to shut down when I'm upset, working on it, but I don't want to hug him, I don't want to kiss him, kinda don't want to be near him. He keeps trying to maintain some level of normalcy by texting me during my workday the way he always does. He made me breakfast the way he always does, but I feel so sad and just can't play along right now. I love the man, but I just feel so betrayed by the whole situation, and my trust for him is out the window. I normally have a lot of patience, maybe more than I should have, but with this I feel done. I really don't know what to do. This is the only man I've ever loved, but I am so hurt. While the love I have for him will always remain, if my trust can be restored.